What a game that was. All over at Emirates Stadium. It's finished Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 2. The Gunners coming from 2 goals down to turn it around with a late goal from Reiss Nelson. We'll be bringing you the full podcast, of course, tomorrow. Our members on the Another Slice platform will be able to access our player ratings very shortly, so check that out if you are a member, of course, of the podcast. But I thought I'd drop a quick video on the channel for everybody else, because it's the type of game that you just can't not talk about. You know, it's unbelievable. I thought when we went 1-0 down, it was okay. I wasn't too worried at that point. I thought there was plenty of time to come back. Obviously, we got caught cold from the start, but you look at it 8-9 seconds into the game, you think there's plenty of time for us to turn this around. But credit to Bournemouth, because they defended exceptionally well in that first half, made it really difficult. Thought we'd come out in the second half and be totally different, and we were a lot more forceful. We were able to penetrate their backline a lot more often, which was obviously great. Ben White coming on, I thought, made a difference. Obviously, he went on to score the second goal, which was really important. But when Bournemouth go 2-0 up, you're fearing the worst. And at that point, you're thinking, well, if we can get a draw out of this, then at least we've turned it from a disastrous afternoon into a bad afternoon. Because obviously we'd have then had that 3-point lead over Manchester City. But instead, we went out and got all 3 points. And I honestly can't tell you how crazy the Emirates Stadium went when that third goal went in. I've never seen this place take off like that. I've never seen it erupt like that. Not only did Mikel Arteta's staff and the substitutes all run onto the pitch in celebration, even the cameramen were on there trying to get their angles as well. It was unbelievable scenes. I was reporting on the game for BBC Radio London, and apparently I was so loud when the third goal went in that the equipment at the other end couldn't handle it, and there's a cutout in my commentary because of how loud I went. Broke a couple of bits and pieces around me in the press box, which isn't really a professional look, but it is what it is. Just unbelievable scenes. This is what champions do. You know, they find a way when the odds are against them, and Arsenal have managed to do that at Aston Villa recently and again today. And, you know, as a manager, you never want to win a game in that way. You want to win it comfortably. You want it to be an easy afternoon. But when you win a game that way, it can be so powerful in terms of the confidence that it gives you. It can give you an air of invincibility. And that can really help your mentality when you go into the run-in and you come up against difficult moments, which we will. Unbelievable scenes. I'm not going to go into the analysis of the game here. We're going to do that all on the podcast tomorrow morning, live at 11 a.m. On the YouTube channel, and it'll be available to everybody else straight after that as well. So yeah, not going to go into the analysis, but the one I want to shout out is Reiss Nelson, because I thought it was a bold move from Mikel Arteta to take off the sub, but it had to be done because Emile Smith-Rowe wasn't performing. He didn't look at the right level in terms of his fitness. He looked rusty. He didn't look comfortable. Mikel Arteta, as I say, made that move. He was bold. He was brave. He did it. He brought Reiss Nelson on, and he had an instant impact. He set up the Ben White goal, and then he got the goal that he deserved as well, right at the death. And I'm so happy for him, so chuffed for him, because he's looked like a player, but he's always had problems. You know, he's always had things in his way, whether that be injuries, just there being other outstanding players in that position. Today he got a chance to come on and impact the game, and today he showed off the depth that this Arsenal side have. I mean, if you think about the goal scorers today, Partey from midfield, but Ben White coming off the bench scoring, Reiss Nelson coming off the bench and scoring as well. It shows you that the squad is a lot deeper, it's a lot stronger, it's a lot better equipped for the run-in. The only downside today is probably the injury to Leandro Trossard. Don't know how serious that is. Hopefully it isn't too bad, but obviously he had to go off early, and that was a bit of a worry. But what an afternoon. What an afternoon. And we'll be breaking it all down in full on the podcast tomorrow, so stay tuned. Player ratings coming later today.